Please join me as we pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance under the privileges of the floor to introduce Senator Araguin's guest who is sitting at his desk. If you could wave to everybody, it is Diana Delphine Polk, who is his fiancée. Congratulations.
Madam President, I'm pleased to welcome to the State Senate today representatives of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and we are joined on the Senate floor by Cal Poly's president, Jeff Armstrong, and 24 students who have won individual or team awards, and 3 associated student body leaders representing the Cal Poly student body. Cal Poly is part of the 23-campus California State University system, the largest public university system in the United States. It is on the Central Coast, about halfway between Los Angeles and San Francisco. The location gives students unbelievable opportunities for hands-on research in agriculture, winemaking, and distinctive coastal ecosystems, as well as proximity to tech industry and cultural hubs in Southern California and the Bay Area. Cal Poly has consistently received high rankings from major publications. For the past 32 years, the university has been named the best public master's level university in the West by the U.S. News and World Report. It's also named one of Forbes' top 25 public colleges. Please join me in giving a hearty Senate welcome to these representatives from Cal Poly.
11, Senator Wahab is prepared. Please read, Mr. Secretary.
Senate Resolution 12 by Senator Wahab, relative to the Lunar New Year.
Senator Wahab, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Senators and members of the public, I rise as the Vice Chair of the Asian American and Pacific Islander Legislative Caucus to present SR 12, celebrating Lunar New Year. You are all familiar with snakes. This year is the year of the wood snake, which represents transformation. Lunar New Year has many names: Spring Festival, Tet, Solal, and more. Over 1 billion people celebrated across the world, including many residents in my district, which is 55% Asian. It's a time for families to reunite, resulting in the world's largest annual human migration. The zodiac cycle is 60 years long, symbolizing a full lifespan. It calls upon us to reflect on historical patterns. The last year of the wood snake was in 1965, a year of major civil rights battles and wins. In 2025, we've seen political attacks on immigrant communities and our core values. This holiday marks the coming of a new year, bringing new opportunities for growth. With this resolution, we reaffirm that our diversity is our strength. We are proud to celebrate together and to stand with our Asian community. As we welcome the Year of the Snake, I wish you all a year filled with prosperity, wisdom, and joy. And I want to highlight that on behalf of the California Asian American and Pacific Islander Legislative Caucus Foundation, you all have a gift at your tables. We would like to say and extend a very happy Lunar New Year. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Good afternoon, Senators. Today I rise on behalf of the California Legislative Black Caucus to celebrate Lunar New Year, a cherished and vibrant tradition observed by millions of people around the world, including many in our own diverse communities. Lunar New Year, also known as Spring Festival, marks the beginning of the lunar calendar and signifies a time of renewal, hope, and prosperity. It is a time when families come together, share meals, and honor their ancestors, reflecting the deep-rooted values of unity, respect, and gratitude. In recognizing Lunar New Year, we acknowledge the rich cultural heritage of Asian American and Pacific Islander communities and their invaluable contributions to our society. This celebration not only strengthens our cultural tapestry, but reminds us of the importance of diversity and inclusion in enriching our nation's fabric. As we welcome the Year of the Snake, which is associated with wisdom, intuition, and elegance, let us embrace the spirit of this auspicious occasion with open hearts and minds. May it bring us all good fortune, happiness, and a renewed sense of purpose and unity. And with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote on SR 12. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam President and colleagues. I rise today in support of SR 12 as co-chair of the Legislative Jewish Caucus and as a senator representing a district with a significant Asian American population, many of whom are celebrating Lunar New Year, and we all celebrated together last week. San Francisco is home to the oldest and largest Chinatown outside of China. and Daly City is known as New Filipino Town for its rich history as a home for the Filipino community. I wish everyone a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2025. As Chinese, Vietnamese, Filipino, and other Asian American and Pacific Islander communities in San Francisco and San Mateo County and across the state celebrate the New Year with parades, dances, gatherings, food, we're joined in a joyous spirit. Over the centuries, celebrating with family and community for the New Year has remained an important part of Asian American Pacific Islander communities. I have had the honor to participate in many Lunar New Year celebrations over the years and have seen a number of similarities between Lunar New Year and the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah. During these important holidays, we honor religious and cultural traditions and come together with friends, family, and community to reinvigorate our bonds. I hope that the Year of the Snake brings you and your family success, happiness, and good health. Gong hei vat joy, sending vai lok.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, today I rise on behalf of the Latino Caucus. It is my pleasure to rise and support SR 12, which celebrates the beginning of Lunar New Year all across our great and diverse state. Millions of Californians from various backgrounds and nationalities are gathering together during such an important time and celebrate the Year of the Snake. This rich cultural holiday is filled with various traditions that are rooted in the hope for good fortune and prosperity. As we wish each other prosperity, health, and success, let us go beyond the individual. Let us work towards a year filled with prosperity and success for every individual and every community that makes up this great, rich mosaic of diversity. And I find that we become better humans when we take the time to learn from each other. My district also includes a very large API community, and I remember celebrating almost 20 celebrations 1 year, and it was one of my favorite times to celebrate with my API community. Again, this is such an important time for families, traditions, and it's always an important thing when we pass down traditions to those that are going to be left behind. So I look forward to joining my constituents for their celebration, celebrating here in the Capitol, and I encourage you all to do the same. I thank the Senator from Hayward for introducing this important resolution, and I hope that we can share moments together a lot more. So thank you. With that, I ask for an aye vote. Thank you, Madam.
Rise on behalf of the Legislative Women's Caucus in support of SR 12, celebrating Lunar New Year. Would also like to add my thanks to the good senator from Hayward who ably represents women in the API caucus. The Year of the Snake, as you have heard, symbolizes wisdom, transformation, and strategic growth, qualities that are reflected in not only the senator from West Sacramento, but California's ongoing commitment to progress and opportunity for all. Lunar New Year is celebrated worldwide, and like so many of you, I am extremely proud to represent a district with a large and vibrant Asian American community that celebrates this tradition and many others. Asian Americans have been integral to our state's history and growth, shaping industries, advancing civil rights, and driving economic and political progress. Asian American women have long been at the forefront, emerging as influential leaders, breaking barriers, and driving innovation across various industries, making way for many of the rest of us. These communities have faced countless obstacles with resilience and perseverance, thus shaping California's innovative and inclusive future. As we welcome the Lunar New Year, may we reflect on how, as a legislature and as a team, we can continue supporting the prosperity of diverse communities across all of our districts that have been vital to our state's long and storied success. On behalf of the California State Legislature's largest caucus, the Women's Caucus, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Senator Perez.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to first start by thanking the Senator from Hayward for moving this forward, SR 12, and recognizing the Lunar New Year. As the Senator representing Senate District 25, I represent the San Gabriel Valley, and as my colleague, the Senator from Baldwin Park knows, we have a very large Asian American community there. This year is the Year of the Wooden Snake, and Wooden Snake represents resiliency, regeneration, and transformation, and I can't think of anything that better represents the San Gabriel Valley. I have watched our community survive everything from API hate that rose up during the time of the pandemic, survive a mass shooting, and now deal with these wildfires. It is truly incredible, and our API community has continued to fight every single step of the way. So, I just want to uplift both our community's history and the deep involvement that they've had and just in giving back to others through promoting our businesses and all the small business success that we've seen throughout the San Gabriel Valley from our API community, and want to urge everybody to vote aye on SR 12. Thank you.
Senator Umberg.
Thank you, Madam President. Chukmung Namoy, Hola, Senator Tom Umberg. I hope you're all impressed. I've just used all my Vietnamese to wish you a Happy New Year. The Lunar New Year gives us an opportunity to celebrate the richness of the Asian American community and all the gifts that they bring to us here in California, culturally, politically, economically. I've been blessed to represent a very large Asian American community, Vietnamese as well as Korean, for many, many years. And so I've seen firsthand all the goodness that they brought to California. I urge and I vote. Gamon.
Seeing no further discussion or debate. Senator Wahab, you may conclude.
Respectfully ask for an aye vote. Thank you.
Please call the roll. Members, this item is eligible for unanimous roll call. Is there any objection to using the unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 38, no 0. The resolution is adopted.
Now moving on to file item 12, Senator Caballero is prepared. Secretary, please read.
Senate concurrent resolution 14 by Senator Caballero relative to Catalytic Awareness Week.
Senator Caballero.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, I rise today to introduce Senate Concurrent Resolution 14, which commemorates January 31st through February 7th as California Earned Income Tax Credit, or CALI-EITC, Awareness Week. This year marks the 10th anniversary of the CALI-EITC, a refundable tax credit that provides assistance to households based on size and income. Eligible filers can receive a maximum credit of $3,529, and according to the California Budget and Policy Center, in my district alone, nearly 160,000 households claimed over $39 million through the CALI-EITC in 2021. What this means for the area is that rent got paid, the electrical bills got paid, food was bought. This is really important money that goes right back into the community that needs it the most. According to the, over the last decade, the CALI-EITC has expanded and become more inclusive of eligible households, and since then it's become one of the most effective means to combat poverty and help families improve their financial stability. A United Way's of California Real Cost Measure report concluded that 1 in 3 Californians struggle to meet basic needs. 1 in 3. Our constituents struggle to cover essential necessities like the cost of energy, housing, food, healthcare, childcare, transportation, and other basic needs. And I know you've heard this over the years, that these are getting harder to afford. Remember, these are not just numbers or statistics. They're real people with real struggles. According to the Franchise Tax Board, $1.4 billion went back to Californians in 2024. Research has shown that the EITC can improve child maternal health. They live healthier lives, and research shows that children whose parents received CALI-EITC when they were little were better off economically when they grew up, which is an incredible statement about how we can end intergenerational poverty. It's a really simple solution. So what can we do for our constituents and most vulnerable communities? We can support CALI-EITC eligible taxpayers so they can claim their full tax credits by supporting the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, or VITA sites, that provide high-quality tax preparation, financial services, and connections to other community services at no cost. I encourage you to visit these sites if you've never gone. They're volunteers that perform this service for people to be able to fill out their taxes and to be able to claim this credit. So a big thank you to all the volunteers that make that possible. And with that, Senators, please join me to put hard-earned money back into the pockets of Californians and increase the number of households that are able to claim the benefits they're rightly entitled to. What we know is many people don't claim the benefit because they just don't know. This can make a tremendous difference, and so I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Senator Becker.
Thank you. I want to quickly add my voice. Thank my colleague from Merced. As she said, this is one of the most effective anti-poverty programs that we have, and these are all people who are working. These are people who are working and get this additional benefit, but they have to know about it. And that's why this Awareness Week is so important, so that people know that they can get this benefit, so they go ahead and file, and that they take advantage of this terrific program. My very first bill I worked on when I was in youth and government in Pennsylvania many years ago was kind of along these lines. And so I'm a big fan of this program, enthusiastic supporter, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Madam President. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, today I rise as a co-author to SCR 14. I believe that this is one of the most important ways of uplifting our communities out of poverty, and I thank the great Senator from Merced for introducing this important resolution. I've worked tirelessly with a coalition of organizations trying to increase access to the IETC because we know that families in need it, but more importantly, we also find that the difference between someone receiving this benefit and those that do not is $1. So several years back, I attempted to include mothers that stay at home because if you claim, let's say, $5 income, you qualify. But if you stay at home and make $0, you don't qualify. So once again, this is one of those tricky situations where some benefit and others don't. But I really want to say thank you to everyone that's worked on this issue, as it really does help with the low-income families. 1 in 3 Californians struggle to meet just very basic needs, and more than half of California low-income families are not receiving any support. So let's use our voice and raise awareness about this important issue. Cal EITC program, as already stated, not a lot of people know and don't take advantage of it. And with that, I ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Aye. Sayarto.
Ayes 33, no 0. The resolution is adopted. Senator Blakespear.
Thank you, Madam President and colleagues. I rise today to pay tribute to my constituent, Lakshmi Uma Krishnan, who passed away on November 24th, 2024 at age 72. Uma was a remarkable educator leader whose life journey embodied the American dream. Born in Malaysia to Indian parents, Uma learned to navigate cultural differences as a member of the Hindu minority. She excelled at traditional Indian dance, performing on television to raise money for charities. But from a young age, she pushed back against social restrictions on girls. She followed her brothers everywhere, even climbing to high mountain peaks where women seldom ventured. Uma migrated to the United States in 1980 through an arranged marriage to Mohan Krishnan. She resisted the idea of an arranged marriage at the time, but she later wrote that it was the greatest gift that her mother had ever given her. Her husband, Mohan, had come to the U.S. for graduate studies and settled in San Diego to work for General Atomics. Joining him, Uma parlayed her passion for science into a job as a cancer researcher at UCSD and then at the Veterans Hospital. After becoming a mother to 2 sons, she explored entrepreneurship so that she could spend more time with her kids. She established a retail bakery and then a wholesale bakery, providing specialty breads to places such as Costco, and then she started a digital sign business. One of her campaign signs was even featured in a photo of Bill Clinton in Time magazine. But Uma's true calling emerged in 2002 when Principal Gary Wilson invited her to create a science lab at Torrey Hills Elementary School after she had volunteered for years at every school that her sons attended. Uma transformed that science lab into a wonderland of learning, complete with lizards, snakes, turtles, and birds. Students in 1st through 6th grade rotated through each week and frequently stayed after school to help care for the animals. Other teachers kept their students in line by saying, if you don't behave, you can't go to Uma's lab after school. Her elementary students won competitions like the Rubik's Cube Challenge, the San Diego Science and Engineering Fair, and Science Olympiad, even against middle and high school students. Her dedication was recognized when she was named Teacher of the Year in San Diego County in 2008. Uma's teaching went beyond academic achievements. She developed deep and lasting connections with her students. One student even came back to her years later for a letter of recommendation to MIT, where the young woman had been waitlisted. And after she got that recommendation letter from Uma, MIT accepted the student. Uma's sense of fulfillment came not from awards or shiny equipment, but from inspiring young minds and building lifelong relationships with students, their families, and her colleagues. Even after her battle with cancer kept her from the classroom, Uma remained committed to community service. She volunteered to glean fruit for food banks and assisted seniors. Her sons, Arvind, a Harvard-educated attorney, and Naveen, an MIT-educated doctor and venture capitalist, continue her legacy of excellence and service. Naveen is now using his medical training to identify and fund startups that focus on new cancer treatments. Uma will be deeply missed. Her story reminds us of the enduring promise of America, a land where a young woman from Malaysia can become a beacon of scientific education and community service. The children she taught have been forever changed by her enthusiasm and confidence in their capacity to learn and grow. By honoring Uma, we are honoring teachers in California across this state who prepare future generations and give us great hope for our future. Thank you.
We're moving on to the last adjourn in memory, Senator Wiener.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, it is with great sadness that I rise today to ask that the Senate adjourn in memory of Jeannie Lu Ho, who passed away peacefully on Friday, November 29th of last year at the age of 78. Growing up in a close-knit Chinese-Vietnamese community in Hanoi, Jeannie understood the importance of family and culture. Before immigrating to the U.S., she was a teacher at the Chinese schools in Hanoi, Vietnam. She cherished her role as an educator. Her passion to mentor others and share her culture transcended borders. She continued to spread her wisdom and Chinese traditions with friends and family in the Bay Area. Jeannie was the moral compass to those around her and instilled the importance of education, integrity, generosity, and compassion. Jeannie was an extraordinary cook, a woman with impeccable style, and lived a very active lifestyle. For decades, she swam at the San Francisco Jewish Community Center and danced at the Golden Gate Park Senior Center. She'll be remembered as the ultimate matriarch. Her legacy will continue, and her charm, grace, and kindness will be missed forever. She leaves behind a devoted family who cherished her deeply, including her children, Catherine, Maureen, Mimi, Vincent Ho, and also Lily Ho, who is one of our great community leaders in San Francisco. She left behind 8 grandchildren. Please join me in adjourning in her memory.
At this time, we will move to motions and resolutions to recognize Senator Wiener.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise to submit a letter to the Senate Daily Journal. Assemblymember Gabriel and I are submitting this letter to clarify the intent of SB X12 with respect to its appropriation of $25 million for civil legal assistance for Californians in terms of who is eligible. The letter has been shared with both sides of the aisle.
Senator Jones.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise and ask for a roll call vote on this letter. The Republican caucus received this letter just about an hour before session started. As everybody knows, the Republicans opposed SB X12 when it was voted upon last month. While we fully support the authors admitting that the violent felons should not receive taxpayer money for immigration services, we still cannot support giving $25 million of state funding, which is taxpayer funded, for pro bono legal services for undocumented immigrants. If the authors are really committed to this clarification, the bill should be sent back to the Assembly for further amendments. I ask for an abstention or no vote on this letter to the Journal. Thank you, Madam President.
Very good. Any further debate or discussion? Senator Durazo.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I rise to support the proposal by our senator from San Francisco. You know, what we're going through, let's peel back all the things, the excuses that are being given. This is really about making sure that the immigrant community has the resources to be able to defend itself. There are very evil and terrible attacks on our community that is creating enormous fear. It's terrorizing our community. People don't know what they are, what the issues are, why, whose laws, everything's being executive order. There's so much confusion that it's creating fear. And our community, our immigrant community that puts so much into this country, so much into this state, deserves the defense that we should give it. We made a commitment to our immigrant community that we were going to watch their back, that we were going to watch out for them. For parents to be so afraid when their kids are going off to school to not know if they're going to see them again, whether their kids are going to end up in cages. Yeah. They deserve defense. They deserve this
Excuse me, Senator,
resources.
Can you address, point of order? Yes.
Going to the Journal and not debate on the issue, but the letter itself. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, please stick to the letter.
Well, isn't the letter about the resources and under what conditions the resources would be given?
No, the letter is to clarify what the bill says.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying is that.
If you want to take a minute, we'll give it to you.
Okay, this is about legal services for especially, I'm sorry, Madam President, if I could.
Yes.
Okay. Support pro bono legal services.
Actually, I think everybody has seen the letter. If you could just address the fact that we're putting this in the Journal. That's the motion.
Okay. Well, this is why I think the letter should be submitted to the Journal.
It is.
It's for all these reasons that I just said and many more. And we're going to prove that California is going to stand by our immigrant community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Senator Caballero.
Members, the real issue here is that the funds will all have the same restrictions on them. And that's the reason for the letter. And why this becomes very important is that there are real opportunities for people to defend themselves and to know what their legal rights are. So the letter just clarifies what's in the bills and clarifies that the different funds all have the same requirements and restrictions. And I spent the weekend with folks in my district that are terrified and that come.
Sorry, Senator.
Yes.
You'd have to stick to the.
Yes. So the point is that immigration is very complicated, and that's why this money is being made available. But there are restrictions on how the money can be spent, and that's what the intent and the purpose of the letter is. And I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
I'm going to turn it back to Senator Wiener to close.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, the arguments on the other side, from the other side, to be honest, are red herrings. This sort of very theoretical, not based in fact, claim about who's going to be getting legal services. And there's no indication that this has ever been an issue in any of these programs. And so this is absolutely a red herring. What actually matters is that millions of Californians may be thrown off health care, might lose their special ed, might lose transportation funding. We might see a collapse of our agricultural sector and construction sector with tariffs and mass deportation.
Again,
and that is what matters, not this absolute red herring that the other side keeps focusing on. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Please call the roll. Ayes 29, noes 1. The letter is submitted. If there's no further business, the first extraordinary session is adjourned, and we will reconvene the regular session. And if there's no other business there, Senator McGuire, the desk is clear.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Grateful to all the senators for being patient today, for working through these final issues. The next floor session is scheduled for this Thursday, February 6th at 9 a.m. We'll see you Thursday.
Members, the Senate is adjourned. We will reconvene Thursday, February 6th, 2025 at 9 a.m.